It's likely that many viewers have overlooked the character development of Beth Greene on The Walking Dead. Uh, she was known for her sweetness, innocence, naivety, and exceptional singing voice. And additionally, Beth was recognized by her distinctive style of wearing cowboy boots, reflecting her farm girl persona throughout her journey. And unfortunately, due to her shocking death in the fifth season, she is mainly remembered for this tragic event rather than these defining traits. In the TV series, Beth Greene, the youngest among the Green sisters, was a
Unique character who debuted during the second season.
um, unlike her comic book counterpart, she was created specifically for the show. She entered the scene alongside her older half sister, Maggie, and their father, Herschel, both of whom became well known figures, although Beth's storylines weren't particularly action packed. Mainly because of her reserved personality, her death was no less heart wrenching and aggravating, for reasons quite distinct from those surrounding Carl Grimes as so well that happened. Who was Beth Greene on The Walking Dead? Beth and Maggie were polar opposite sisters. Beth Greene, the youngest child of Herschel and Annette Greene, shares half-sibling ties with Maggie Rhee and Sean Greene. The two women were often seen as mirror images of each other, both possessing tender hearts that made them sensitive to loss. However, while Maggie is, known for her boldness and assertiveness, Beth tends to be more introverted and reserved. When a new group of survivors moved into her home, it seemed like she began to question her own survival skills. She preferred solitude and spent most of her time with her boyfriend Jimmy. This sudden retreat into isolation made her eventual descent into despair all the more unexpected in many ways. Beth closely followed her father's feelings, and his decision to withdraw from the world influenced hers as well, following the loss of her mother and grappling with depression. Beth contemplated suicide in the second season. However, over subsequent seasons, Beth underwent significant personal growth. Armed with a gun, crucial survival skills, and loyal companions who would protect her, Beth's self-assurance soared. In a heartbreaking moment of reversal during a tragedy, Beth displayed hopefulness about Herschel's chances for recovery. While Maggie retreated to accept the impending demise of their father, through the power of music, Beth emerged as a shining symbol of hope amidst the chaos of the Walking Dead group. As Rick was often away fighting with the governor or fulfilling his duties as their leader, Beth took on the role of Judith Grimes' caretaker. When the conflict between Woodbury and the prison neared its climax, Beth demonstrated heroism by calming the discord among the group members. During the decisive battle against the governor, she selflessly risked her own life to locate all the children and escort them to safety. Without a doubt, she became someone whom everyone could rely upon. Even in season 4, she found a new love interest, but their relationship was cut tragically short within the same episode due to an unfortunate accident. Regardless, Beth maintained her dignity, which is this resilience served as a testament to her maturity, but as is often the case in The Walking Dead, tranquility seldom endures. How Beth died in The Walking Dead season 5, um, Beth sacrificed herself to help Noah escape. Beth struggled to adapt to the lawless world, taking time to get accustomed. However, the affection shown by her family and companions spurred her will to survive, particularly in season 5, when she was separated from them. In the story, Beth got separated from Daryl following a joint quest for alcoholic drinks that evolved into a bonding experience. Subsequently, she was abducted by a gang of ex-police officers from Atlanta Speech. At the hospital, she functioned as a ward, dealing with unpleasant characters such as lawbreakers and self-centered authorities. Beth found herself evolving under the guidance of Leader Dawn in the police. Simultaneously, she had to appear as a hero to the people the police were oppressing, while also adhering to Dawn's regulations to stay safe. Her capacity to maintain composure and confidence in herself demonstrated how much Beth had developed from the timid teenager who was easily intimidated by trouble in season 2. However, when it came time for her and fellow ward Noah to flee, Beth was overpowered during the escape attempt. Despite Noah's rescue causing her to smile, she was prepared to relinquish her own liberty for his sake. In season 5, episode 8, Coda, upon Rick and the team arriving to save her, Dawn proposed that Noah take Beth's place instead. This proposition enraged Beth, who told Dawn, "I get it now," implying she recognized Dawn was using her as a subservient pawn for power, or she finally comprehended what steps were necessary to survive. Unfortunately, her attack on Dawn led to an accidental shooting of Beth in the head. Dawn appeared remorseful until Daryl ended her life. Shortly after, Beth's unexpected death changed The Walking Dead. On TWD's survivors lost hope after after Beth's demise. The Walking Dead plunged into a desolate, dismal trajectory. The remaining survivors became wary of false promises, and despite their attempts to carry on, numerous among them found scant reasons to keep living. Moreover, another character who once brought a sense of levity to the series further deepened this gloom. Beth and Tyrese served as the last vestiges of innocence that shattered the survivors, leaving them disillusioned about humanity in general. In a poignant manner, The Walking Dead delved into the complexities of grief following Beth's demise, as it affected Maggie and Daryl profoundly, with the unfortunate revelation that her sister was deceased. Maggie was plunged into despair, despite earlier assurances she would be alive. Similarly, Daryl grappled with guilt for not being able to shield Beth, manifesting in self-inflicted pain like burning himself with cigarettes. Both characters were convinced that Beth's absence made the world beyond repair. This somber phase was essential to contrast the forthcoming optimistic atmosphere of Alexandria. Forgetting Beth was the result of the fast-paced apocalypse. And then, I feel like being a better state. Even Maggie was forced to move from Beth's death. Beth was largely overlooked. Following season 5 of The Walking Dead, and this was even more apparent after season 7. When Judith grows up, there are rarely mentions of how Beth looked after her as an infant. Maggie only shares stories about her family, including Beth with Daryl in season 10. However, hints emerged as early as season 4, following the governor's attack on the prison, that Maggie valued Glenn more than her own sister. Afterward, Maggie's life became consumed by her grief for Gwen. And it might be due to sharing a son with Glenn, but everything she does is in his memory. She found out she was pregnant, lost her husband, and assumed leadership at Hilltop. Adapting to the rapid pace of the apocalypse was challenging for her. It suggested that Maggie may have found closure over time, but this aspect isn't explicitly explained. Maggie and Herschel Reed carry Beth's legacy forward. Daryl will never forget her either. In the initial stages, Beth played a crucial role in a team that significantly improved some survivors' lives. However, she ultimately fell victim to the ruthless indifference of the apocalypse towards mankind. Nevertheless, Daryl and Maggie honored Beth by adopting a more optimistic outlook on life in subsequent seasons. Daryl wore her shoelaces as a memento, while Maggie displayed a portrait of Beth at Hilltop. Initially skeptical of her, Maggie eventually admired Beth's burgeoning independence and self-worth. Glenn's death persistently haunts Maggie's thoughts because she hasn't fully recovered from him. In contrast, she named her child Herschel as a token of respect for her father and the entire Greene family. Although not stated directly, Herschel seems to embody Beth more than anyone else due to his musical skills, which remind Maggie of her sister. It might have been infuriating to see Beth act recklessly, leading to her demise. But looking back, it was a pivotal moment for the series. At its zenith, dead. However, Maggie has always aspired for her son to be raised among his aunt.